Ever since I got into plants, I have never felt more like myself. Gardening has become like the most grounding thing in my life right now, where I was always going, doing stuff for other people. Whereas growing plants doesn't do anything for anyone else but me. And so growing these plants and just gardening and reconnecting with nature is something that's solely just for myself. So I feel so much like more comfortable like spending time alone. It's like things don't really upset me too much anymore. Plants are not problematic like people are. I feel a lot more like stable and like peaceful, and the chatter in my brain kind of just stops. On this online environment, it's really hard to connect with people. It really is just you and nature. Like, it doesn't matter kind of like how you phrase things. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter, you know, like if you have acne or not, like these things that I used to worry about all the time. I care a lot less about kind of how others perceive me. You can see physical growth and like all the love and time that you put into like nurturing these plants. You can see like a physical manifestation of how much they've grown and how much like you've grown as well. I can really just focus on where I am at that exact moment and like my senses and like feel the soil in my hands and just remind myself that like life seems to be going so crazy, but it's like I'm here right now and I'm like fine, like it's okay.
I'm on staff for UCLA Backpacking Club. And so I really think one of the silver linings of the pandemic is that it's allowed me to like connect with nature and with a lot of like the close personal relationships I have in my life in a different way. It's really grounded me in the sense that like I've kind of taken a step back from my life and looked at what I really like value and what I prioritize. I think I'm very much someone that's like go all the time, especially in school. And so when I'm like out in nature and like you have no cell service, like you're with like your closest friends, you're in these like beautiful, amazing spots that just like don't feel real. I think like you can't help it but like forget about everything else in the world. That's really like the best way you can travel right now safely. And we went on a backpacking trip in January. Like I had just forgotten that we were like in the middle of a global pandemic. Like I had hiked more miles in 2 days than I had hiked like probably all of last year combined. And I woke up and I was like, Nolan, like I should be like so angry right now with like how much pain I am in, but like I am just so happy to be here with you. It's like I think I would call it an outlet more because I find it very like stress-free. It has offered like a very like healthy escape. Like I don't want to say like it's a good thing to just like completely forget like all the like things that are wrong in the world and all the things that need fixing. But I think like at times when it is overwhelming, I think it is healthy and good to like take a break and like take a step back and then, you know, return to like the problems with like a different perspective. And I think out in nature, that is definitely a time where like you really do a lot of soul searching. And I think it's just a great way to like spend more time with yourself and like get more comfortable with like being your own company.
Well, I struggle with like anxiety. Stepping into nature has definitely like helped my stress levels. You see the same like four walls like every day, and like you do your classes like on the computer, and like you don't have any kind of like incentive. You're just like waking up doing the same thing over and over again. It made me like realize that like you don't have to be doing something all the time. You can just like take a walk, and it reminded me that like you're more than like your like social circle and like your like school and your like whatever you're doing, because like nature exists. It's like a constant. And so like being able to go into nature, like that's something that isn't like off limits no matter like how like the rest of like the world is doing, I guess. Like you can't just take away nature. It's like it's shaped me, but it's also shaped like my closest like relationships by like bringing us together like through this experience. Just like it's like an activity that we can like do together now. So like we are like realizing that it's okay to like take breaks from like what we're doing sometimes and take care of ourselves and like step out into nature if we need to, or connect with like our loved ones if we need to. I think it's like really worth a shot to just like go outside and like just go for a walk if like you can't get anywhere like the beach, or like always turn to nature if like all else fails.